Welcome to your new Sprocket 3.5 orientation. I'm Dustin Powers, and I'll be walking you through all the basic steps of the new Sprocket. You see your site is now hosh.vanguardresources.com. I set myself up as a PBX operator so you can see what your screen should look like. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now whenever you first log in, it brings you to your Sprocket portal. From here, you can add a weather widget if you want, like I have. You click the down arrow, select weather, add the widget, and put in your zip code. This way, every time you log in, it will show you the current weather for where you're located. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is create a new work order. On the far right hand side, you see we have a new work order link. You click on new work order, and this is going to load us up with the new work order screen. For the request type, you're going to have to click the down arrow your first time and select work order. Request code, there's several different request codes. If you know what type of request you're going to be putting in, you can start typing it, like maybe it's a lighting inspection or a lighting issue. You start typing light. These are every work order that we have put in, every work code that starts with light. So you can select the general lighting, or if you don't know what code you're trying to put in, on the far right hand side next to it there is a magnifying glass. You can click on it and it will open up a list of all the work or request types that we have in Sprocket. So you can slide through it, look at it, and say, okay, I want to do an electrical work order. You just click on it and it will go ahead and place it in. Now below there you see a lot of our information is auto-populated from the information we already know about you in Sprocket. It's going to place you as the requested by user, the contact, email address, phone number. Anything in red is required, anything not in red is optional. So we have to place the location for this electrical work order, and the new naming scheme for it goes building-floor-area-room. So if you're not familiar with the areas and stuff to start with, you can still type in Dr. Ansel. So that'll bring us all of Dr. Ansel's suite, his rooms, etc. Or you can click on the magnifying glass to the right hand side. We can go ahead and expand out building 5420, first floor, and then we can expand Dr. Ansel's office, and we get all of his rooms. We're going to put this work order in for exam room 3. So I clicked on it and it auto-filled in the smart code up here. The shop, we have POM, we have Biomed, we have EVS, but again, you can click the magnifying glass to the right hand side to find out which ones are in. Equipment, if you're putting it in for a specific piece of equipment, you can go ahead and fill that in. Priorities, we have multiple priorities, and here you can see the times associated with them. So a number 1 priority, a stat work order, has 2 hours to be completed. An urgent work order has 8 business hours to be completed. Routine has 2 business days, and etc. I'm going to put this work order in as an urgent just by clicking urgent. And for the work type, we have a few work types as well now. See, we have incident, in-service, PM, projects, QA, regulatory, repair request. We'll put this one in as a service request. Any place in Sprocket now that asks for a date, you can click the calendar to the right hand side, or you can click in the box and hit the letter T for today, and it will auto-populate today's date. And then we'll put in some comments to tell the technician more about it. I'm going to put this as a test work order. And up on the top left, we can go ahead and assign an employee by clicking the Add or Assign Employee and selecting the employee from the drop-down list. We'll give this one to M. Hobbs simply by clicking his name and submitting the work order. The next screen that brings up is the dispatching results, and you see we have a couple options here. We can close and clear, which will close this dispatching results screen and take us back to the same screen we were just on with all the information cleared out, so we can go ahead and put in the next work order. We can close in new, which will close this screen and take us back to the same screen we were just on with all the information still populated. We can click My Requests, which will take us back to the My Request screen, which will show you any work orders that you have requested. or we can go to the work or details for the work order, which is the work order details. I'm going to click my request. So it takes us back to the screen where we can see all the requests that were put in by me into Sprocket. So to the right hand or left hand side of my new work order, we have my work orders. These are the work orders that are assigned to you or to your employees. So if you're a supervisor, you see your work orders plus all of your employees' work orders. The next screen, or the next link to the left, is my request. This is the same screen that you just saw. This will show you any requests that you have put into Sprocket. The next one to the left is the Manage Overview, and this is where you'll do most of your work in Sprocket. From the Manage Overview screen, initially it will show up with all closed right here where mine says Manage Overview. To get to the Manage Overview, you'll click Save Searches and click on the Manage Overview link. And it'll remember your settings for the future, so you won't have to do that every time, just the initial setup of it. So now that I am in, you see in a grid format we have all the basic information. We have the work order number, some dispatch actions, the employee, the location description, the request type, the status of it, a description of it, etc. So from here we have a couple of options. We can click on the work order number to get to the work order details. And from here we see everything that we put in on the new work order screen. We can also go to time if we want to add time. So maybe today M. Hobbs worked an hour. I'm going to go ahead and put the date as today so that I know, T for today. And the wage multiplier, we have regular, overtime, or holiday pay. And we'll click Save Time. So this is a normal pop-up. It's telling me that we are trying to submit time for M. Hobbs an hour more than what he was scheduled. Now that's normal because we haven't put his work schedule into Sprocket. It doesn't know that he's supposed to work 8 hours a day. It thinks right now he's working 0 hours a day. So it's telling me I have an hour. I'm going to tell it OK because I know that he did work the time. And we also have an option now to go to Save Files. If you have a work order that we subcontract out, maybe an inspection, and you want to upload the inspection results, you go to that work order number, click Save Files, and you can attach the file to it. After you've done everything you want to do, go ahead and click Save and Exit, which will take us back to the Manage Overview screen. And then from here, we have a few more options. We have our dispatch actions here. If you memorize the pictures, you can just click them, or you can click the down arrow. Now this gives us a description of what each of them are. So we have assigned to employee, mark complete, and a few others. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this one to an employee. Even though we put M. Hobbs, I'm going to go ahead and change it to D. Powers. I'm going to make it my own work order. Reassigned for completion. Now, so it's going to change from M. Hobbs to D. Powers because I just assigned it to myself. Now, whenever you click these actions on the grid itself, it only completes on one work order. We have the ability to submit or change multiple work orders at a time by clicking the checkboxes. And then on the top right there's a dispatch actions drop down, and from here I'm going to go ahead and mark them complete this time. Now it's going to give me a little preview of which one I'm closing or which one I'm marking complete at the top. So this is work order number 2311 assigned to D. Powers, and it's the electrical work. So I'm going to go ahead and put D. Powers back in as the employee that completed it. The date, T for today. I'm going to give 1 hour and 30 minutes that was completed, and any remarks. This one I'm going to say ballast replaced. And then the next one is work order number 2310 for C. Thomas. So I'm going to go ahead and say C. Thomas did complete this. The date, T for today, it took him 2 hours and 45 minutes. And safety inspection on this one is complete. So it's going to go ahead and put both of these from the assigned status into the completed status because the work has now been done. So there we go. Now that completes your basic tutorial of the new Sprocket. If you need to contact me, you can give JP or Leanne a call, or at the very bottom of Sprocket on every page has my email address, dpowers@vanguardresources.com. You can click there, email me, and I'll be happy to help you as best I can. Thanks.